Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to read through pretty much the full article here. It is quite heartbreaking. There's a link in the description. Uh, we'll start off with the headline. Why did you kill my brother? And that's the heart-wrenching message from a 10-year-old boy to his mother. Why did you kill my brother? So he had the opportunity to make a witness statement to be read in court by an adult. And those are his words towards his own mother from New South Wales, Australia. So we're going to look through, as I say, the majority of the article. It's going to be pretty heartbreaking. A New South Wales woman who has admitted brutally killing her toddler has been called the worst mother in the entire world by her surviving son. Like, how could you kill him? No, why did you kill my brother? The boy said in his victim impact statement read out in the Supreme Court, New South Wales, on Friday. Here's a further quote from the boy. I still haven't come up with any reason why you were crying at the cemetery that day when you were the one who killed him. An adult read the 10-year-old statement at the sentence hearing of his mother, who appeared via video link from jail. She has pleaded guilty to manslaughter by an unlawful and dangerous act of her 2-year-old son. She killed her 2-year-old son in August 2018. The toddler had injuries to his head, chest, and abdomen caused by multiple forceful blunt impact traumas. She beat him to death. Significant force was involved, for example, forces similar to those seen as a result of a high-speed motor vehicle accident, according to the agreed statement of facts. Relatives said she had a history of hitting the toddler, with one relative saying that she would grab him by the hair and pick him up and throw him all the way over to the lounge. One woman said that they told her, if you don't want him, to give him to one of us so we can look after him. And I bet that woman believed that. She meant that. She saw the abuse that this toddler was facing and she wanted to step in. She wanted it to end. She wanted to give the boy, the 2-year-old, the love that he needs, the nurturing that he needs as a baby human. I never saw him happy, the woman said. But she would get mad and say, they're my kids, none of your business. If I hit him, I hit him. And that's a tragedy, to have that mindset that it's fine to hit your children, that the parent believes it's their right. What's it got to do with anybody else? They can hit the children if they want. It's up to them. It's normal parenting, according to them. It's not normal, and it needs to be stamped out, in my opinion. And I do say that as someone who's a non-parent. I feel that there's room for that to be a little bit hypocritical, a little bit inappropriate of me to say, because I've not been in this position, but only a little bit hypocritical, only a little bit inappropriate. Not wholly inappropriate, not wholly hypocritical. I'm able to have my own opinions, and we're able, even as a non-parent, we're able to see the sense in raising your children without corporal punishment. You know, we can see the sense in that. After the serious injuries were inflicted, the family went to the home of relatives who advised her to take him, the 2-year-old toddler, to hospital. The mother, the scumbag mother, instead went out and bought alcohol and later put the limp and floppy boy in the shower until she eventually took him to hospital. So by the sound of it, the toddler perhaps could have been saved if she had done what her responsibility would have been. Take the child to get medical attention. She refused to do that. She'd rather get drunk. A nurse physically took the child and ran into the emergency department where CPR was performed to no avail, and the 2-year-old boy was pronounced dead. The mother gave false, inaccurate, or incomplete explanations for the injuries, including saying she had seen another son standing on the toddler's chest. Man, yeah, this 10-year-old boy is right. She is the worst mother in the world. Here's another part from the 10-year-old boy's victim impact statement. You tried to blame me for it all. Man, I feel so sorry for this 10-year-old. That is heartbreaking, man. Fucking, not only did your mother turn out to be a child abuser, an alcoholic perhaps, an absolute scumbag that killed your 2-year-old brother, but she tried to blame it on you? Fucking hell. What's that going to do to a boy's psyche? This boy he's going to struggle to trust anybody, I would imagine. I hope he gets the psychological need that the psychological help that he'll need. And I hope he gets all of the love and support from legitimate human beings, normal, sane people that have empathy for others. He's going to need some guidance. He's going to need some correction. But in all honesty, this 10-year-old boy has impressed me with what he said. He understands what's going on. He's seen things for what they are, what they have been, and that is horrendous evil. And this 10-year-old boy has been let down in the biggest possible way by his own mother. I guess you could say by CPS. I guess that's a fairly reasonable thing to say. He's been let down by the authorities. Where were the authorities to step in? Seemingly the neighbours tried to step in. They tried. I won't blame the neighbours. They tried. Did they try enough? Maybe, maybe not. Arguably not. But regardless, they tried. To me, I'd be reluctant to blame the neighbours, seeing as so many people just don't try. So many people just turn the other cheek. At least these guys did try. They did intervene. The 10-year-old boy said that she tried to keep him locked in a bedroom while you smacked, belted, and hit it again and again. He was very glad now to be with another family. Good. The 10-year-old boy said, I'm ashamed of you, but what you did is not all of me. I know I am kind. And you are. The 10-year-old boy is incredible. He's kind and he's incredibly smart, this 10-year-old. I'm very impressed with this 10-year-old boy. He's got a wonderful view on life. His perspective is very accurate. But yeah, very impressive young man. Again, continuing with the 10-year-old boy's victim statement. In my bedroom, I have a picture of my brother. I think of him every night and that he is not here with us. That makes it harder for me to fall asleep. The 10-year-old boy said that he had become creative and was good at drawing animals and making things. And the boy said, when I do that, I don't have to remember. In a letter addressed to the judge, the mother said, I apologize to the court for the mistake I could have prevented. She asked if the judge could forgive her of weaknesses, the foolishness, misbehaved action I didn't mean to have done. I have lost everything I've ever loved and held dear to me in the blink of an eye. I'm a broken soul, de-energized with exhaustion, emotionally drained, regretful and remorseful of my stupidity and arrogance, embarrassed and ashamed of myself. The judge will sentence her on a later date. So here's a message from me to the judge. Don't give her any latitude. She killed her 2-year-old son. She took away her 10-year-old son's little baby brother that he loved. Who gives a fuck that she recognizes that she's a broken soul? Who gives a fuck about that? Yeah, she should be a broken soul. Good. Stay in prison. Rot. With your remorse and your regret. Good. That's what we want. This mother as the 10-year-old said, was the worst mother in the entire world. This mother killed her own 2-year-old son. She had the chance to perhaps take him to the hospital to gain medical assistance, which may have saved him. But he died because of her beating and seemingly, presumably ongoing abuse. The neighbors tried to intervene. If you don't love him, if you can't care for him, give him to me. We'll look after him. We'll love him. We'll raise him. We'll give him a life that he deserves as a human being. We'll take him away from your torturous abuse. And she refused. Arrogance. I'm not a big fan of forgiveness. I'm really not. I struggle with the concept of forgiveness. I see that forgiveness has its place. I see that forgiveness can benefit a lot of different parties. It can benefit the aggrieved. It can assist in the aggrieved moving on, letting go of their anger. I do see that there is a case for forgiveness, but more so from my point of view, and I've looked into this a lot and I've not had my viewpoint shifted. Forgiveness is abused by so many people. This murderer of a child, this child murderer, she wants to leverage the notion of forgiveness. Oh, please forgive me. I now know that I shouldn't have killed my 2-year-old son. Oh, you know it now, do you? You fucking stupid scumbag, evil piece of shit. C-word. Now you know it. Oh, great. Well, perhaps you should have known that before you were beating your son. It's too late, you stupid C-word. Apologies for using the C-word. I mean, I'm not saying it fully because I know that it does offend people, and I'm not looking to offend people, but I do want to express myself and my anger. Just forgiveness. It's a flawed concept, or rather, it's an easily abused concept, and it just gets abused constantly. Obviously, this is a very serious, as serious as you can get situation, but we just see forgiveness in all aspects of life, on a very trivial level, and to me, forgiveness is a form of enabling. It just gives people a pass to carry on doing what they're doing, whatever the wrong behavior, the bad behavior happens to be. They can just get away with it. Why put in the effort into rectifying their behavior? The mental effort, the emotional growth required. Why do that when you can just ask for forgiveness? Oh yeah, no worries, carry on. Let's forget about it. No problems. It seems too close, too akin to enabling. I don't like forgiveness. I'm not fully against the concept. It can serve its purposes for sure, but I don't know. It's flawed, frankly. But anyway, I don't wish to. I'm wrong for going on too much on a tangent. I very much enjoyed reading through this article here. This 10-year-old boy is. I mean, I'm reluctant to overpraise people. I do praise people. I do like giving out compliments when it's deserved, but I think there is a risk in, I guess, love bombing, in overpraising. But this 10-year-old boy, seriously, in all seriousness, he has very much impressed me with the meaning that he's conveyed, and he's conveyed it extremely well. The loss that he feels, the hurt that he feels, the grief that he feels about the loss of his the death of his 2-year-old brother. He's genuinely still grieving, and he'll continue to grieve, and he's right to hold on to the memory of his 2-year-old brother taken away from him by his evil mother. And he's expressed himself extremely well. He said that he now draws, and it gives him an opportunity to forget. This is a very talented young man, I have no doubt, and I wish him the best. I'm glad that he's happy with his new family, and I hope that continues. I expect that it will. This is a great kid, and I hope he has a great future ahead of him. He seems to me to be talented. I'm a good judge of this kind of thing, I think. Maybe I'm being arrogant there, but this kid needs to have his talent encouraged. He should have a little play with writing. He's good with words, I'm telling you. But also with the drawing that will develop. Keep at it, young man. And your drawing will improve, and perhaps you'll become a wonderful artist. I can well imagine it. But in any case, the important thing is that he recognizes, the 10-year-old recognizes that he is not his mother. He recognizes that. He recognizes that he is a kind boy. He's a kind young man, and he will continue to be a kind human being. And he's going to continue to hold on to the thought of his 2-year-old brother. And he's never going to sway from that. He's never going to feel any kind of justification for the kind of violence and abuse that his mother yielded to the 2-year-old, and perhaps to himself as well. He knows it's wrong, and he knows he's right. So, this is a great kid. I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. If you do value this kind of content, and personally, I use the word enjoy. I guess it's right, and I guess in some ways it's kind of wrong. But I have very much enjoyed going through this topic. I think it's great. It's touched me, and perhaps it's touched you. But I'll wrap things up at this point. Take care of yourselves, guys. If you do feel that your neighbours, your family members, or such, your colleagues are being abusive towards their children, do reach out to CPS. You're allowed to call CPS, there are cases where it's done vindictively and with no good reason. That happens in the YouTube world, seemingly. People attack each other by tapping into CPS as a means to attack a parent, a good parent. But of course, if there's a genuine concern that a parent is being abusive towards a child, reach out to CPS. Do what you have to do to get the authorities to look into it. It won't always work. The authorities won't always look into such matters. The authorities won't always do a good job of looking into and following up on such matters. But look, as human beings, all we can do is do the right thing. And if you have, I guess, a reasonable level of suspicion that your neighbor, your colleague, your family member is being abusive, then you have a responsibility to society, to the children involved, to yourself, to your own sanity, to your own sense of moral being, to do what you can to protect that child. And that, I would think, would be contacting CPS or such, so that the authorities can take some action. But I'll wrap things up here, guys. Again, thank you for listening. I really value your support, and hopefully you value the content that I'm putting out. I've still got more videos, one more video to make today at least, and it's going to be of a really dark nature you may not want to watch. But I'll thank you for your time.